Shucky. We missing somebody. Who we missing?
Where's the older woman at?
We missing somebody.
Where's the
I thought
older woman? Huh?
she was up there. She's on her audio, her video, her camera's messing up. So she'll
Oh,
be on audio only,
okay.
right? Are you there, Alderwoman Gibson Carter?
I am here, sir.
Okay, okay.
I thought it was gonna be a blue jacket free zone tonight. That's what I thought when I ain't see it. I thought it was gonna be, you know, that I
It's too
I
much power, sis. That's why I couldn't handle me and you both being on screen at the same time.
see now I'm gonna go and say I ain't say nothing about Battery Creek or Buford High. I ain't say nothing about Battery Creek, Buford High, and don't let me go to St. Helena High. Don't let me go to
lay off St. Helena High. Lay off St. Helena High right now. Get off them. Okay.
Well, my uncle then went to St. Helena High, but I'm just saying.
Ain't nobody on the kindergarten, so stay over that.
But that don't mean that it's about HBJ wherever. HBJ.
They tearing that school down, man.
They tearing it down, ain't it?
Yeah. Hey, he want to get on here and talk about HBJ. I'm glad Charlie Brown ain't on here talking about Richard Arnold. Two schools that they should have both been towed down.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. But we Queen, I don't know whether Jamal we got the Queen Quet, the knowledgeable, wonderful, lovely Queen of the South. She's our queen, and she is everybody. Everybody, see, I get on my side, Jamal, because I give her all that.
See, peace, love, and blessings. Peace, love, and blessings. I appreciate the love. You know, I thought that, my brother, Dr. Teray, was my brother, but I got the message, the screenshot that it was Brother Julius Hall that was like, yes, we got to have the queen on. We got to have the queen on. So I give you honor and respect, Brother Julius. Brother Dr. Teray, he wasn't looking out for me this time. I appreciate you.
I got your back. I got you. With no problem. Well, we had a wonderful show. Dr. Bailey, she gave her presentation. She gave us a history of what happened at that site. And then not only that, with the history that she gave us, she told us what she felt. She didn't have even though I think she does have a dog in the fight, but she wanted to stay neutral because, as a person of color, we want to make sure that our history is preserved just as anybody else's history.
Right, absolutely.
And she gave her presentation on an even keel. And one of the most powerful things she said, Queen, was you can only put the Weeping Time Memorial in one place, but you can put the Salvation Army anywhere.
Any place.
And that was powerful. That was absolutely powerful.
It is.
And so that's where we at with that. We got Alderwoman Alicia Miller Blakely. I think she's on her speakerphone tonight also because
yes. Hello, everybody.
Greetings.
How y'all doing?
You and Keisha must be in the same place for to have those technical difficulties at the same time where it can only do audio.
No, we're not in the same place.
Get the record straight, right, my sister?
Can you all hear me?
We can hear you, sis. I know you. You be ready. Get this record straight. Y'all been sitting as all the women and people misrepresenting your words. I see you.
Yes.
Great. So she's still on duty. She like, you gonna get this record straight tonight. We are not.
That's right.
No,
I can barely hear you all.
Really?
Yes.
We hear you clearly.
Okay.
So what did you think of the presentation? Did you watch the presentation?
I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I'm definitely going to go back and watch it. But as you all know, I am definitely in support of us not putting a Salvation Army on that sacred property, on that sacred ground.
Okay. We all in agreement with that. Alderwoman Gibson Carter, did you watch it? Alderwoman? Yeah, Keisha, Alicia, I hope she ain't fell asleep.
No. She's going to get you for that one.
We gotta talk sometimes and she'll fall asleep on me and Alicia.
That's in the wee hours of the morning.
It'd be 2:00 in the morning and she be, I get my inspiration from them. But I'm trying to get set.
Brother Hall, while you get set, and hopefully our sister come on back in, I didn't want us to go by without acknowledging what today is, and that today is a day that we commemorate the Cumbie parade. Calm down. Don't cut off the queen. Don't be disrespectful. So I wanted to make sure that we, took some time to just take a moment of silence. We just came back from the Cumbie River, pouring libation in honor of not only Harriet Tubman, Mother Moses, but also the 150 U.S. South Carolina volunteer soldiers and the 700 Gullah Geechee ancestors that left those rice plantations on the Cumbie. So I think it's really appropriate that we're here talking about the weeping time, because if they wept that day, they wept in joy that day. And I'm sure that our day is coming that we will weep in joy as well, that our living and work has not been in vain for freedom for our people. So I just wanted us to just take a moment of silence. I always enjoy the laughter. I always enjoy the fun. but I also believe in us doing this decently and in order. So I didn't want us to really get going into this discussion tonight without doing that.
Yes, ma'am.
See now, really, June 2nd is the day that we graduated from Herschel B. Jenkins High School. That's why all these warriors are gathering. We gathering here in Chatham County right now. So that's why I'm headed to them. So that's why you said that really that's what Queen Quest trying to say. It is on June 2nd. That's when the warriors graduated from the Civic Center. Oh my God. Oh my God. It ain't no weeping. It's some gnashing because they know how the warriors are fearless.
No, see,
Lord,
Brother Julius, this is why the people want to bring the Salvation Army to the community, because they want to provide Brother Jamal. I can't fault the Christians for wanting to bring the Christian army to help my Muslim Brother Jamal, because they know people like him is there in Savannah. But they got to put it somewhere else. They can't help him right there with a weeping time at. I mean, we all been weeping trying to help Brother Jamal for some time right now. But we're gonna yet pray for him. We praying and believing. He gonna be all right. He gonna be all right.
Okay, we got the good sister Alicia Scott just joined.
Yeah.
Hey!
You blame Crystal for popping you on there if you got popped on there. Crystal popped you on there.
I saw that. I said, "Oh Lord, it's a riot, and I'm not in control anymore."
Yeah.
Y'all caught me.
I meant to
my
tell
face.
her. Yeah, you could put yourself in. Crystal didn't know that. Yeah, Crystal,
It's
she put
okay.
herself in.
Hi, it is so. First of all, it is such a honor and a wonder, and a pleasure to meet you, Queen Quet. I'm gonna put you up at the top. Wonderful to meet you. I have done lots of work in Beaufort and on St. Helena's Island with many of the families over there who are fighting developers for land. That's a whole long story, but it is such an honor to meet you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I had to come on. I heard Jamal and Julius just got the whole place ghetto, and they're not being respectful of the queen. And I had to come on in here and class the joint up.
I appreciate it so much.
My apologies. We got Jamal driving and texting, violating every Georgia don't touch the phone law.
He might not be in Georgia.
Yeah.
But it ain't he ain't nowhere. He's in Georgia. Got the camera holder driving. Lord have mercy.
Don't know.
Yes. Okay. So it's such an honor to meet you.
Yeah, we got the two older women on also. So if anybody got any questions, go ahead and ask them. I know we got a bunch of comments, and Crystal is in the back room, engineering all them if air doesn't take over.
No, I'm not going to take over. I'm so happy. Hi, Crystal. It's so wonderful. We finally not operating like a colored shop that sells barbecue dinners and does
barbecue dinners with the cell phone service out on the side.
Yeah, right? And fried fish.
There you go, some fried fish in the back. Chili bears.
Yes, exactly. So I have a question for the older women, because I came on to stir up some trouble. Are the older women there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I have a question. I watched your inaugural retreat with the city of Savannah almost 2 years ago now, and I recall that I was just noticing recently that your mayor said that this fired city employee, Marty Johnston, was supposed to only be temporarily his chief of staff for 6 months. And it appears that this is permanent, because 6 months was over 3 times as long ago. Is there any word? The people would like to know, because it's our taxpayer money, and this is something that the mayor put on the record, that she'd only be there for 6 months. And I guess I'm trying to figure out why all the old rich white women, we got all the unemployment and the talented black folks in Savannah, why can't any of them have any of these good staff jobs the same way Eddie Deloach had Marty Sullivan in it? Is your mayor trying to give the same opportunity to a 60-year-old white lady who's gotten wealthy off her work in the city, and who was let go by the previous city manager? What gives? Why is Marty Johnston still the chief of staff when the mayor said that she would only be there temporarily just to get her pension, make her pension multiplier kick in? Because I guess she was just shy of her city pension, was what one of
Is
the
that
things that was discussing.
is that a question, or are you going to make a statement?
I just want to know what's going on with that position, because we know it's a lot of nepotism. And what do the alderwomen have to say to the people about that?
Well,
What I have to say is
I
this:
want to say,
if are we both talking at the same time?
Yeah.
I think we
Well, you
were.
Oh
got
my
you got it
goodness.
first. You go first, Alicia.
What I would like to say is this: that is a very good question, and I think you would get a great answer from the mayor himself, because I'm not privy as to why that individual is still there after the 6-month period has passed.
Thank
Okay.
you. Okay, Alderwoman Gibson Carter, you're up.
Well, I want to first say thank you, Mr. Hall, for this invitation. But more than that, I want to say hail to the Queen, Quet.
Peace and
It's good to
blessings.
be in your presence again.
Good to be here.
Alicia, I don't know that we will do the weeping time much respect talking about a person who is causing us to have to deal with this weeping time situation. You know what the deal
Okay.
is, Alicia Scott. Um, we're dealing with a tyrant who essentially does what he wants to do. But what I want to bring into focus is the fact that we are continuously aggravated and agitated by distractions. My pastor often says that the greatest enemy of direction is distraction.
Distraction.
And a lot of what this person we call mayor has done has been distractions from anything remotely close to progressing this community in a direction of which we should go. And listening to Ann Bailey's talk, the one thing that resonated with me so much was the
You breaking?
Oh, I wish I knew. I wish I could hear it.
You breaking up, sis?
The one thing that resonated so much was Mercury's in retrograde, so
Yes.
I get it. Okay.
Did we have any questions? We're going to talk first about the weeping time. We'll get to all those issues after we exhaust our questions for the weeping time. So we got Pastor Gordon that has joined us. We're waiting on Pastor Smalls to come on, and hopefully Alderwoman from the First District, Pernetta Lanier. But Pastor Gordon, how you doing, sir?
God bless you. I'm blessed and highly favored. Thank God.
Okay, you have a news conference tomorrow, also in the morning at 10 at Solomon Temple, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Follow up
Okay.
on Dr. Ann Bailey's presentation.
Okay. Let's say, where did we lose somebody?
No, I'm
No, we
helping
lost.
Crystal. I just zoomed us in
Yeah, we
because so
lost.
that
Yeah, we lost Keisha too, though. She's probably in the car, so we lost her. But Alicia is still there, though. Okay, so anybody got any questions for Pastor Gordon? And he's having a press conference in the morning. What did you think? I'll ask the first one. What did you think about the presentation, Pastor Gordon?
Yes, thank you very much. And let me say, glad to see you again, Queen.
Peace and blessings, Pastor.
When we had a memorial service, I remember that you graced us. So we've been talking about the weeping time. It's not just nothing just jumped up upon us,
That's right.
as some people may think, but this was a deliberate effort to a bona fide and to give those people historical rest by honoring them. Yes, the presentation was awesome, and it was some of the same things that we've been saying over and over, but I would like to, as a minister, be reconciliatory in my voice, and even at this point, try to get the mayor and city council people, since it's been verbalized that this could be a win-win case for everybody. But the more we drag it out, the worse it'll be a lose, and win for the heritage. But so we shouldn't drag it out. As simple. I like to keep things simple, and Dr. Bailey just made it simple. As a business student, even if you're not looking at it from spiritual terms, and if you're not looking at the Bible, say there was a man that feared not God, didn't regard man, but because of the justice of the issue.
What's up? Why you late, man?
That it was given. So I think it's an open and shut case when we think about it. Although if you reconsider, we can all make it a win-win for everybody, the city, the United States, and the whole world, every church around the world. Yes, I'm trying to make my answers short and concise. I can talk and talk and talk because this subject really is to my heart. Yes.
Wonderful, Pastor. I have a question, and this can be for anybody on the stream. Julius, has anyone put in the application to get the property added to the historic register within the National Park Service? Has that process been started? Because that's got to be the next actionable step taken, so that we can enlist the help of the senators in protecting this property. If we don't do that, we hamper ourselves. So does anybody know the status of that? Older women?
Alicia, I did personally send a request, as well as ask Senator Ossoff personally, and sent correspondence referencing the desire for he and Senator Warnock not only to weigh in on this, but to provide assistance in helping us establish landmark status and have it simultaneously put on a register. So I have yet to hear back. I did follow up and ask for a response, and was told that one was forthcoming. And to date, I have not heard back from Senator Warnock or Senator Ossoff. And many citizens who have been advocates and activists who have mobilized and engaged in this work, they too have sent similar acknowledgement. So outside of that, we're just still trying to make the connections and make it happen. Mr. Teray just told me that we could probably connect with the archivist, Luciana, with the city of Savannah, and inquire with her as to how we can facilitate that or initiate it from the city side. But of course, as you stated, it would be more helpful to have the city support.
Let me say this. I also am not only engaged with you all in regard to protecting the weeping time, but also just to protecting the Georgia coast from this spaceport. So when I'm currently on behalf of the Gullah Geechee Nation and Gullah Geechee Sea Island Coalition in consultative status with the FAA. So I was asked about sending in a letter to Senator Warnock, not only in reference to that, I was about to write him specifically about the weeping time. So when I was asked to send in something in regard to the spaceport to also have him engaged there, I then asked him on behalf of the entire Gullah Geechee Nation and the family in Savannah in particular to come home and let us actually do a tour together to these sites, to not only come to the weeping time, but then to go over to Cumberland Island together. I also have not received any confirmation or anything of him coming. They told me they received a letter, but I have not heard any further communication, and that letter was sent a month or more ago. So therefore, there's some consistent pattern going on right now in regards to the silence on this issue. So I pray that Senator Warnock is hearing this, and that the silence is broken, because we are your people. We know that you were in Atlanta, but you from Savannah. That's according to the campaign ads I saw and the people told me. So you need to come on home and help your people, because the people help you to get where you are. So that's important that we all continue to reach out and follow up until we get a response. In regard to the process for the National Register, I just want to say this. A lot of people do things with the National Register, but know that having National Register status doesn't protect property. They'll put a marker there and walk off. It doesn't protect property. So just be careful about thinking that's the only effort that you can use.
Well, what I recommend is, when we rallied to get Penn Center and Brick Baptist Church on the National Park Service registry, we did protect the land, but it does take leading.
Let me explain that. Because that's not clear how you just did that at all. Because I'm involved with Penn Center, and I am on their advisory board. So, and I'm a native of St. Helena. So let me get this clear.
Yeah, and I was just a part of the application for MPS.
Okay, so let me clear that up. Yeah. Let's clear that up, because I don't want the audience led right now.
Right.
Okay, because what you are referring to, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the fact that you have a National Historic Monument status that then got, I don't know if it's really upgraded, but they consider it upgraded to a National Historic Park status for Beaufort County. Correct? We talking about the same thing? Okay.
Yes. So we're talking about it's a national park, because now they can charge under the National Park Service.
The National Historic Park. National Park Relevancy Committee. So I want to be clear. First and foremost, the Brick Baptist Church and Penn Center were already on the National Register. Okay, Brick Baptist Church sits in the Penn Center National Historic Landmark District. We also have Beaufort, the city of Beaufort, that is a National Register Landmark District. So now you have historic sites that are in a district. We got a larger thing. We wanted a national monument for reconstruction.
Yes.
That got designated here in Beaufort. Brick and Penn are just a couple of the sites. We also have other sites that have been identified that will be partnering sites, but also the Emancipation Oak at Port Royal, where the Naval Hospital base is another site that's part of that designation. Now, those places had already had designations for other reasons already. For other reasons. And let me explain to you, when we worked on the study, the Gullah study, all right, the Low Country Gullah study with the National Park Service, and as it wrapped up, that was brought to myself and Michael Allen, who was then a ranger with the National Park Service, and said, would y'all work to get people together to support us getting the Reconstruction National Monument? We jumped and said yes. And I said, and if you all start at Penn Center, I will beat drums for it. I said, the only site that we have that we know is standing right here where we all are, that we know is a reconstruction site, is Penn, that tells the story from the Civil War forward. Well, guess what happened? The Confederates showed up and put the, as we say, the kibosh on that. They were like, no, y'all not going to do that. That's going to be revisionist history. No, y'all did revisionist history. All that doctrine, all that foolishness, and that madness, like Dr. Teray always says. So now there was pushback. It got held back until President Barack Obama served 8 years, 1 week. You know it, sister.
Well, yep, I know it. Yep. 1 week. Before his last day.
He signed it. And why? Because we could prove to them the outstanding support we had for this thing. to have this designation that was a national monument that's now a national historic park. It became a national historic park because Congressman James Clyburn said from day one, I don't want it to just be considered a monument. I want it to be a historic park, because then resources are supposed to come in from the Park Service. But understand, those resources stay in the federal government. That's Park Service employees being employed there. My thing is, and then they tell your story. That's not what we want. We want economic empowerment for our communities when it comes to the weeping time. We want an established monument and other things that are businesses around there that we own, that we operate, where we tell a narrative. Who can tell about life in West Savannah better than everybody that grew up in West Savannah?
So here's my question. So yes, I was gonna go deeper into that it is under the National Park Service, and I did share that information with Alderman Gibson Carter as well as Julius. So here's my question now. We need at least a leading organization to sort of own this and shepherd this on to build support.
True. That is
what part of that process that with getting the National Reconstruction Era monument, what part in that process? So I came on at the end in the last 2 years working with the Beaufort Black Chamber, helping write letters to Clyburn right at the end, working with
and they all came
at the end. Yes, we came way in. Yes, we came in way later. Yes. Yeah. What part of that process can the Gullah Geechee Nation or whatever the leading organization, and I will say this, the Gullah Geechee Nation I remember when we found bodies, when they dug up Savannah State and dug up the graveyard there, and we tried very, very hard to contact the Gullah Geechee Nation. I'm so close to you now, I can't believe it. We couldn't get you.
Dr. Teray was always involved with Savannah State.
Yeah, remember that? Remember that, Dr. Teray? And all of a sudden, remember we were meeting at the Shabazz Church talking about them bodies? And Ron Christopher brought all that information, and we knew that the Gullah Geechee Nation was supposed to be contacted for any African American remains on that whole corridor.
And they did.
We couldn't for whatever reason. They just swept it under the rug at Savannah State. Bygone.
That's what happened.
Yeah. So how I think that the Gullah Geechee Nation is perfect for a leading organization. What parts of the
organization? That's the first thing.
Please let me go and say that the Gullah Geechee Nation is not an organization. And the problem is that, and I'm going to say this. Now, Queen Quet has heard me say this. The problem is y'all in Savannah. And I'm saying just like y'all in Savannah. Because, and I'm not saying you specifically, Sister Alicia, because
I know what you mean. I get it. Yeah.
The problem in Savannah has been, we have been talking about us being unified in matters. And we refuse to be unified. People sitting on here right now, I'm saying straight up front, we've been saying that. I've been saying this since Queen Quet met me. We've been involved in this saying it. So the Gullah Geechee Nation is a nation. Right. But then once again, people tend to miss out on it. Even when we come over here and say certain things to you all, guess what? Y'all still go against the very things that I go and talk about unity. Y'all still going to minimize it just to West Savannah. It's not just about West Savannah.
True.
We understand what we're talking about. It is much larger. It's the entire area. We have a national heritage area. Yes. We are part of that. We don't say nothing about that.
Right. So what?
But also go and say, because the National Landmark District in Savannah is from the river going to Gwinnett Street from MLK to East Broad. So we have those designations right there, but it doesn't protect us. We tend to think that it protects you. No, it doesn't protect you. And also, Queen Quet was nice about this right here, but I'm going to say that when we talking about how long we go back on some of this, going back to what we know is Camden County, we have seen how when the National Park Service is involved in some stuff, it affects our community.
It does.
So even when we want to do that, we need to think about that. So I'm saying this is not a conversation that we need to just be doing right now. I think that's the end. It needs to be a longer conversation about that, because they don't protect us. When she said that we are being part of the National Heritage Area, that was the first Black National Heritage Area, the Gullah Geechee National Heritage Area. Guess what? When folks when they say we will not be able to get our people into some of these positions. They said, oh no, we got to follow equal employment opportunities. We can't go and do that. So right then and there, when we look at some of this, we need to be sensitive. And yes, Queen Quet asked me a question about Senator Warnock, and I went and told her some things over a month ago about some of this. And I said, yeah, what the problem is in Savannah, when Dr. Bailey talked about truth and reconciliation, we need to have that. Julius Hall has been saying, we all need to get together. I'm saying to all of you right now, the egos got to go out the window. Got to go out the window and understand that it's not just a Savannah thing. This is a Georgia thing. This is a South Carolina thing. This is a Florida thing and a North Carolina thing.
Right.
And that's how we can then go and defeat some of this right here. But because in Georgia, I told folks we have been fractionalized for so long, and right now people going to try to like act like, oh, we on top of. No, it ain't. Some of us been out here sweating and bleeding for decades, and then y'all wasn't even listening to us. And even when we talk right now, you still don't listen to us because again, you still fractionalize yourself just for one area. It's all of Savannah. If you want to talk about the city of Savannah right now, it's all of our community.
So I have a question, Dr. Teray. You know I've always brought I'm not originally from Savannah, so whenever I learn something, I brought it to the people I know.
I'm glad
and
you
I
that up
I am
because I didn't know that. I'm glad you cleared that up for me because I didn't know why you mispronounced St. Helena, and I didn't know why you thought the Gullah Geechee Nation was an organization. Because if you were here, you should know full well I am chiefess and head of state for a nation. You don't have state for organizations.
Okay. So thank you. Thank you for that.
So I am just like Biden is for the United States.
I understand. Yes.
For the Gullah Geechee Nation.
The Gullah Geechee Nation.
Why, when President Barack Obama was in office, and Dr. Teray can attest to it, I was invited to the White House twice. Why? To represent the Gullah Geechee
Nation.
Okay. Now I am also the founder of the Gullah Geechee Sea Island Coalition. That is one of thousands of organizations that exist within the Gullah Geechee Nation. And what I'm saying to you is a coalition of us is what got done the Reconstruction National Monument, is what got done the Gullah Geechee Cultural Heritage Corridor that Dr. Teray just referred to, and it was an effort over time. But if we are fractionalized like Dr. Teray is saying, you'll never accomplish anything. Okay.
So what?
Got a question.
Not stand. So you got to stand together in order to accomplish all of this.
How did you get? Excuse me. And good evening. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit late. Evidently, I was on the wrong network or something. Again, I'm happy to have you on the Rabble tonight. And you say you're the queen. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
Okay. The question I wanted to ask you: how did you get to be queen? Were you elected, or they had a group of people?
I was elected over a 1 year long election, and Dr. Teray actually did a 3-part show on Run Tell that tells that entire history. So I would recommend that definitely watch all 3 parts, and that will answer all those questions. Because tonight I was asked to spend 30 minutes on here to talk about the weeping time. So I don't want to talk about me. I want to get back to the issue at hand.
Oh, no, I want you to stick to what at hand. I was just a little bit. And the reason why, you'll be surprised how many people don't know that much about what's going on.
I realize.
They are completely absent. And the question I'm saying, how can we grow when we don't know?
No.
I know you want to cut me off. Recently, I was not involved. I did not understand it. I'm a man without understanding. Trust me. And I'm not the only one. When you say you was a queen, I have no idea where you come from, to be honest with you. Not because I did not follow you, it's because I didn't know about you.
No, I got you.
That's the only thing I'm saying. Again, I'm happy you here.
Yeah,
He's not a stupid man. But when people fail, they only fail for 2 reasons.
Oh, here we go, Charlie.
And lack of knowledge.
All right.
I just had one last question I wanted to get in. So thank you, Queen Quet, for taking the time to articulate and explain that to me so that I can ask a question with better intelligence. And I promise I'm a hush, Pastor Gordon. So I feel like the Gullah Geechee Nation is perfect for leading this charge for the preservation of our African American ancestors and all these sacred grounds. what is the next step? What is an actionable step that the people, I've moved from Savannah in 2019, but I was there working on the ground for about 10 years, trying to get them together, just like Jamal Touré. Jamal knows he's one of my favorite people. When I learned about the bodies, someone asked a question. When I learned about the mass grave at Savannah State, I brought it straight to Jamal and his inner group, and we worked to try to figure out how do we get in contact with someone at the Gullah Geechee Nation. I'm not going to mention names. There is a Black lawyer in Savannah who is the legal, supposed to be the counsel for the Gullah Geechee Nation anchored in Savannah. And they didn't.
So let me tell you something right there.
Okay.
Let's get the record straight tonight. I'm back with my older women here. Let's get the record straight. You keep referring to the Gullah Geechee Nation. I think you are referring to some other entity, because we don't have any lawyer based in Savannah. So now let me get on the record tonight, because there are a lot of shysters and liars that
is interesting
are in Jacksonville. And now you must be telling me about some new one in Savannah, and you can send me an email later and give me the actual name, because we have had people going around. We've had people now with organizations popping up on Facebook, getting nonprofits using Gullah Geechee Nation, and we have had to go after them legally. But our lawyers are not based in Georgia. Our lawyers are international human rights lawyers. And because we are a nation. So anybody who is misleading you that they are somehow representing us in Georgia, you should have never fell for that one. But
they never did any. You know what?
Someone was to contact us. There's no way. I just informed you a little while ago. Dr. Jamal Touré is the representative that is in Chatham County. He served on the inaugural Wisdom Circle Council of Elders for the Gullah Geechee Nation. Okay, so he is the person who could be in touch directly, like he was in touch tonight through Brother Julius, to say, would you come on the air here? Now, we have representatives also further south of you all, and all along the coast. We have Reverend Zach Lyde. We have Sister Anita.
I know Zach.
Okay, so they are your representatives for the Gullah Geechee Nation in Georgia.
I wish I had known them.
Else that should have been telling you they represented us, and it is always easy to find the Gullah Geechee Nation online, because it's GullahGeecheeNation.com. So that's why I want you to stop saying it was the Gullah Geechee Nation. Now, you might have contacted some organization, but you did not contact the headquarters of the Gullah Geechee Nation.
It was a person I was working with at the time. Brought this lawyer. I didn't know. This was very early on when I got, I was just in Savannah a few years, and we just got nowhere. But
you were working with somebody who was a shyster, it sounds like.
You know what they did?
Actually contacting the actual headquarters of the Gullah Geechee Nation. And that's the thing. It's very easy to find us, GullahGeecheeNation.com. It's not like when I started on the internet, where you had to actually wait for dial-up modems and stuff. Nowadays, y'all have this stuff in your hand with a little thing called Google, and then instead of people do their research and find the folks who read things and verify who you're dealing with, folks are not doing that. And that is critical, because especially when you were saying to me, sister, what's the next step? You can't get to the next step, like my brother was saying, if you don't have the knowledge and you don't know where there's and the people perish. But now there are also those who are provided knowledge and they reject it. Now that is a reality, and I know Pastor know what I'm talking about there as well.
Pastor Gordon was trying to say something.
Pastor Gordon had a question.
Yeah, please.
Thank you, everybody. We go forward. We don't want to cry over spilt milk. We want to get on board now, because this is a serious matter.
Yes.
Yeah, just in a matter of maybe 30 days, we're going to know if we're going to have a right to carry on our heritage as a people.
Yeah.
We're going to know if we're going to be soul again.
That's right.
It's almost like Pierce Butler again. We can move from here. We don't want to cry over a small milk of the.
You made your point on that. Yeah.
The thing about it is, I've been having meetings ever since this thing hit me, and unfortunately, as a Pentecostal preacher, I have to use a pop singer analogy until this thing hit me like a wreck, and it hit me like a wrecking ball because we were making plans as Queen Quet has. She's already visited my church. We
absolutely
the first 3 memorial services for the Weeping Time enslaved people at the Solomon Temple Church of God in Christ.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we've been having meetings every Sunday
Mm-hmm.
for 6 months
Mm-hmm.
To get this legacy remembered. And we called for the first fundraiser. And so thank God that he used us just to be a person in the mix to bring to pass Ann Bailey today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying to us, we can start meeting tomorrow at Solomon Temple,
Mm-hmm.
and just have a full court press. We don't want to, when you get somebody, the NBA draft, and I know basketball terminology because I'm 6'7" from my child. I've been known 6'7" on the way to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
I got 6'8" trying to make it in the gate. Now I'm 6'9", don't want to be left behind.
I know that's right.
So when we deal with this, as we meet tomorrow in our full court press, everybody is important. Who going to take the 3-point shot at the buzzer? It does not matter, just as long as the whole team win.
Right. Amen.
I would like everybody on this, that's for this purpose of not letting us be sold again. Get with me, contact me, let me get your information in this last 3 weeks. Your thought may be a thought that will get us over. Your shot may be the shot that will get us over.
In the game, yes.
And so that's where we are. And I want to, we don't want to leave the church.
No, sir. The church have been a major backbone to the Black community. But at the same time, what bothered me a lot about what's taking place at Weeping Time, yes, sir, if it wasn't Weeping Time, and the people say we don't want that in our community, the vast majority of the people are saying we don't want this. I know Weeping Time is important, and I'm saying it's wrong to try to force a building or something on a group of people. They're not being right and fair. I'm being perfectly honest, because Weeping Time is involved, which to me, I can understand it a lot better now. I'm saying they are just shoving it down their throats and say, whether you want, why you think when you put up a building or a business, they have meetings, a sign say we'll be putting this there. You come there and you say, we don't want it in our community. 90% of the people say they do not want the Salvation Army. And they're going to say, whether you like it or not, you're going to get it. That is wrong. Wrong. We need to figure out, we're going to fight them. I'm with you, Pastor. I get stuff from Julius, but we should sue them. We should do what we need to do because it's not right.
Right.
Amen. I agree with you.
Amen.
Story short. And there was one analogy of the chicken and the pig. They got together and said, we're going to have a fundraiser for our community. And the chicken said, I'm going to donate the eggs and you donate the bacon. So the people that grew up in Savannah, they want us to donate
the bacon.
And a chicken can have 255 eggs a year.
Right.
And as Dr. Ann Bailey say, they got many places that they can put this. Why is this aggressive hostility, in a sense, from the Salvation Army.
Right.
Is being
Pastor, it's two things going on, okay? Number one, keep in mind, someone, I don't know who owned that building. Does the Salvation Army own that building? Because Dale Crich's family used to own that building on Montgomery Street. Number two, someone want to sell it for a lot of money, but you look at SCAD. SCAD got buildings going upwards all around. I'm saying build a Salvation Army up to 3 stories the same way on Montgomery and Victory Drive down to Bull Street. It could be done too. If something is going on there and they think the black folks, we don't matter. So that's what they're doing. And we got black people up there not opening their eyes. They got both eyes are closed. Why can't they take SCAD? Not SCAD, like the building SCAD got. You know what I'm talking about? Montgomery and Victory Drive, all the way down the Bull Street, go up with the Salvation Army. They don't have cars, the homeless people or whoever don't have cars, so they ain't got to worry about parking.
Well, Charlie, I think that the answer to your question is simple. We you know, out of an abundance of love, we black people, we have an over tolerance for failure. But let me tell you, you got to look historically. Let's look at the historical tenets of how they've treated us in Georgia. The Stone Mountain was a sacred site for the indigenous of this land. And they carved their graven images in the side of a sacred site.
Sure did.
They don't care about the indigenous and African and us new African people of this land.
And brought a plantation house in there. And brought a plantation house in there for people to come visit a plantation in there on the sacred ground, sister.
There you go. This is
at the Forsyth Park in Savannah, they got a Confederate monument in the middle of the park.
They let's look at Yamacraw. Where's Jamal at?
Yamacraw.
Yeah, look at Yamacraw Village. They wiped out the black economic neighborhood over there and put in federal. The FHA put in a housing project made after the Hermitage Plantation. It's an exact replica of the Hermitage Plantation. When Jamal took me over there on that tour, I sent Facebook to the moon on that. He said it best to me years ago. If we don't pay attention, they will rub the boo-boo in your face. And that is what they've been doing.
They're doing that now.
They're doing it now. And the sad part is we got people that look like you and me who are ushering the shit shovel down our throats.
Yeah, and it's very sad.
It's vile.
And again, like the pastor say, Pastor Gordon, we got to work. We got this queen behind us. The lady, from what I've seen, is real knowledgeable, and she do not hold back. She let you know. And I need that fire. I've never met her before. I've heard some people speak of her. I've heard some people speak of you, but now I'm more in tune. I've been out for a while.
Okay.
Trust me, mentally doing a lot of other stuff. And I was concentrating, but I want to come back into the arena. Like you mentioned basketball, and I might want to be 6th man of the year.
Come on now.
I want to come back.
That's what I'm talking about.
What I can do.
Yes. And we all
Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown.
Go ahead, Keisha.
Mr. Brown, this is Alderwoman Gibson Carter. How are you?
Hello, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I see you're still the same. I just have a question to ask you, but I don't want you to answer it because I want to keep with the topic of the show.
I'm still the same.
If your role on the Rabble is to be deliberately antagonistic, because I don't appreciate you asking my queen, how did she become a queen? Have you ever asked Queen Elizabeth how she became a queen? Now it's
Right.
enough of this disrespect of the African American woman.
Yes,
You
I
don't
did.
hide
Yeah. I
shit,
never,
okay?
I never
Now
asked her.
back to the
I
point.
never
I
asked her,
asked you
but
not to answer it, but I asked you not to answer my question.
ma'am,
I asked you.
I'm gonna mute him.
ma'am,
Hold on, Charlie. Let her finish.
I muted him. Go
So,
on, Alderwoman. Thank
Miss
you for
Scott,
saying that because I was ready to snatch him out the frame.
yeah, that was just hot and heavy on my mind. So, listen,
I
I
appreciate
got
it.
cut off when I was talking before. I'm not sure how much you all heard, but Alicia Scott, what I was saying really related to your question about the mayor's assistant. I did not want distractions where the weeping time is concerned. Nonetheless, your question is so relevant to this issue because what we have been dealing with since our time on council are distractions. My pastor often says that the greatest enemy of direction is distraction. And there have been a lot of distractions where this weeping time property is concerned. And those distractions have come in the form of backdoor shenanigans, shady shenanigans, under the table deals, and situations like what you see where this individual you stated was supposed to be the mayor's assistant for 6 months. And now she's here almost 2 years, not to mention with a $15,000 raise on top of it. So what we want to do is have our citizens continuously focus on the main thing. We want to keep the main thing the main thing. And the main thing here is the weeping time property. However, we take steps to preserve the property, it is my desire that we all stay on one accord, stay with one collective voice for one cause. There are many, many interests. There are so many hands on this now. And while Ann Bailey stated that she's not taking sides, one thing she did state is that that property is the Weeping Time property. In fact, she stated that the entire west side should be designated and protected as a honor to our African American history. And the only way we can do that is to continue to stay together, stay cohesive. Although we have people from this side of town, that side of town, this side of town, but it makes a difference that we all remain together, collective in one voice, in one fight. And I want to say to other citizens, our environmental group, the activists, they came together, they fought, they sent messages, they sent emails, they made phone calls, they lobbied council members, and we got the resolution. And so I am aligning myself with the prayers of Pastor Gordon here, who believes strongly that God is going to bless and see us through this. And so as we continue to work through these pieces on council, we want you to recognize who is representing you on council. And I know a lot of you all are in support of how we fight and why we fight. But what we want you to start doing is reframe your language. When you talk about council and people on council, it's name season. Don't group me. I fight too hard to be put in a group with individuals who don't give a damn. So what we want to do is we want to be real this season. We want to be relevant this season, and we want to be right in this season. And I want to thank every last one of you on this panel because you have not wavered and you have been with us from day one. Not because you like us or we're friends, but because you're committed to the cause of community. Vote Julius Hall for Port Whitworth mayor.
No.
That was a good one.
That was a nice plug right there.
Hey,
That was a very nice plug.
Keisha, if you wanted to speak, all you had to do is let Julius and one of them let you speak. You didn't have to use me as a springboard to spring off of me to talk.
He's right though, Charlie, and I
It
didn't.
was too easy, sir.
I got my very
But she's right. I felt the same way. I just didn't want to.
So don't talk over me, okay?
Hey, I got two questions for Alderwoman Gibson Carter. One is, was that what you were talking about when you said what impressed you more about her, what she had said? Did you finish that?
Oh yeah, you got cut off when you said what impressed you most about Dr. Bailey's comments was, and then we never heard the was.
Right.
I think it was just along the lines of just her passion and her ability to speak so eloquently from a place of education, from a place of experience, where she actually acknowledged, I think this is where I was going with this, that she Despite the many years she's been somewhat of a historian and studied slavery and African American history and culture, she did not know about the Weeping Time. And she admitted that. But she also stated that there are probably hundreds more sites of slave sales that we don't know about. And so if we hear, I think I learned about the Weeping Time about 4 years ago. And so still today, guys, there are people in Savannah, Georgia. There are people on the west side. There are people who live within a stone's throw of that property who do not know what that property represents. That's all the more reason why we have to protect it. Right. And why we cannot sugarcoat this issue and we cannot camouflage that property with a shelter. So we have to
desecrate
be a voice, and we have to be a voice and a loud voice, not just for this property, but as Dr. Teray said, we need to convey a committee of sorts so that we start exploring and identifying possibly if there are more sites in Savannah. We have work to do, and more than anything, in listening to Miss Bailey, my engines were just churning because there's so much missed opportunity. There is a ton of missed opportunity for us to turn our entire community around. Absolutely. Just by turning this history into an economic driver. Yes. So not only are we not getting the reparations, but we're taking away opportunities so that we can establish our own reparations. Come on, you can't beat me on both sides.
Listen, there it is. Yes. There it is. Economic violence against our communities. I just came off of a show where they said that we are in a civil war state right now. It's like the Civil War ain't ended. We are in a civil war type state of affairs in the U.S. right now. And you're right. Go ahead, Pastor Gordon.
Yes, and as you all were talking about the Stone Mountain, how they desecrated that memory with other things. That area where the Weeping Time was actually called Bartow, which named after the first Confederate general, one of the first that died in the
Francis Bartow. And he's got a bust in Forsyth Park. Go ahead, Pastor. Sorry.
And so that's how they stamped out that memory. And time, I felt like we were going to get a chance to stamp our legacy
there. Yes, sir.
This what came to pass. Like I said, hit me like a wrecking ball. That this was in the people, in city officials' mind that voted for it until November of last year. Yeah. And so that's why we must fight this fight. It's
absolutely.
Let me ask a question to either I don't know whether Pastor Gordon knows or whether Alderwoman Gibson Carter knows. Do they give progress reports, or has there been any progress reports issued? And where are we in this process for the archaeological study?
I wanted that same question answered.
Yes. Well, Miss Bailey, she's the first part of our team. When we go further, they have
you've got mail.
Ambiguity in the process that we don't know what they're looking for. Our alderwomen have sent them letters to let us know what are the parameters of their study, and they hadn't given her any information. So we're at the point when they make a move now, then we have to make a move. But yes, we still have some other people. Reverend Smalls, he and I said he's my Shaq type power of center, and we've been passing the ball to each other and said when we get to the rim, we're gonna slam dunk it. But at this time, so we have one person in the pipeline that's several people that's gonna write letters. So we are still involved in this particular process of the other aspects of it, a surveyor and a
archaeological team.
Yes. If
So
Has anyone
is
been
there anything?
has an archaeological team been contracted, or are they utilizing the
Right.
services of one of the universities that are in the area?
Yes, that's a good question. That's something that you may can help me with, because I'm putting these. I'm the less political person involved, so I'm putting this in our meetings every week. I'm urging them, this.
Well, uh,
But if you know some people, everybody come put them in,
Well,
because
Pastor,
So in other words, there has not been any contracting of an archaeological team then.
there,
well, that's where we want.
Well, Queen
That's what
Pat,
we want
Queen,
there,
Keisha Gibson Carter to answer for
Yeah,
us.
please.
there have been
yes,
several
Queen Pat.
texts, but no final commitment.
Pastor Gordon, we're gonna let the alderwoman, because she
All
would
right,
know
all right.
before you would know.
Oh, thank
Alderwoman Gibson Carter.
Well, now, so we have two themes here. Pastor Gordon represents the West Side community where this issue is concerned and how we proceed with the archaeological study. And it was decided, Pastor Gordon, in tandem with the support of the National Church of God in Christ, they are seeking to do an independent archaeological study
Okay.
separate from the city of Savannah. So
Okay.
shortly after our meeting, the city manager, Michael Brown, sent a letter to council acknowledging that we were engaging a
Okay.
pre-existing contractor of record with the city of Savannah. This group, this firm, was engaged for previous work, and so they are now asking them to perform the archaeological study for the weeping time. So everybody knows that we have huge trust issues where our
Yeah.
local government is concerned, and as a result of that, the West Side community felt it necessary to also have an independent archaeological
Okay.
study separate
Okay.
from the city of Savannah. But the city of
Right.
Savannah is proceeding or progressing with a study, if you will. Um, as a representative of the city, I am not willing to put my name on it or behind it. There
Okay.
isn't much within this administration that I trust. Thank you.
Okay.
yeah, because
All right.
they are some forgers,
Let,
frauders, and wool pullers.
let me ask something else as a follow-up to this that goes back to what the pastor said in regard to the lack of response, shall we put it, in regard to outlining and detailing the process of such an archaeological survey that is to be taking place by two parties, from what I'm hearing. And I think that's a good idea, definitely. But my concern was when I saw the vote that took place to actually say we will put this on hold until we do this archaeological work. My first question was what the pastor has said. What are they going to be doing? What are you looking for? Because if the history of the location was simply, and I'm going to use the word that's coming to me so people really get the magnitude of what we're talking about here. It was a storage area. Our ancestors were considered chattel, thereby considered property. They were simply stored at this place before they were sold. So think about the storage at back lot, some back room where you go to shop at a big box store. Think about that. That this property was simply a place of storage to hold who they considered to be property, not considered to be human beings with souls, with hearts, with minds, with family, with legacy. They did not see us that way. They saw us as 3/5 human being. No one has ever told me as a mathematician what the other 2/5 are. But yet that clause exists in the Constitution. What didn't exist is humanity in the Constitution of these individuals. And so here it is. They felt that they were just storing this group of property to sell for this dude who was a gambler. He needed to pay off some gambling debt. So, hey, why not sell off some property? That's like going to the pawn shop. Think about it that way. Okay? Think about you took your mama, your grandmama, your churn to your next door neighbor churn, your husband, wife, all these people, and you took them to the pawn shop because you were gambling. So this is the kind of thoughts that was in these people's head. We weren't anything. different than anything that we take out of our houses now and sell or give away to somebody else or throw away. So now they're stored here. What is it that they think they're going to find? This is not a situation where this was a burial ground where you say you're going to do an archaeological survey to dig up bones. So what specifically are they seeking to find? Are they simply seeking to find boundaries of what was a fence-lined area where they did this for the weaving time? What exactly is it that they are saying they want to find? Or is this a game? Is this 3-card money that we're
going? It's a game.
Okay, it's a game.
It's a game. You named it. And you know what else I've thought about too? It might be, I have a book that was given to me that somebody powerful in Savannah has removed from all the shelves and all the libraries. It's called Civil War Savannah, Book 2, Savannah Brokers, Bankers, and Bay Lane. Mm-hmm. When I went public with this book, I haven't gone public, but it is the most complete record that I believe is an open and shut case for reparations. It draws a straight line to people still alive today, living off of slave trade, human trafficking, labor. If there were ever a way to try a reparations case, Savannah has some of the most complete and direct line history. And listen, Spencer Lawton is from a long line of Chatham County DAs way back to his great-great-grandfather being the Confederate quartermaster in Chatham County. These people are alive today, still living. Alexander Stevens, Vice President of the Confederacy, his house is enshrined and still standing like the man ain't dead, long dead.
How they do it?
Paid for by the Alexander Stevens Family Trust. That's still slave money. That's treasonous money. It's still in banks today. I believe part of what they're doing is they're trying to erase evidence that will one day be entered for reparations for Black people. Because Savannah, Charleston is South Carolina is working on racial reconciliation. Georgia don't want. Remember,
let's don't Georgia tonight either, because that's another part.
They're doing a hair more than Georgia. They're like it may be lip service, but Georgia wants to erase it. Remember, Georgia got Lincoln killed and Field Order 15 thrown out. The senators from Georgia did that. All those guys did that. Georgia was responsible for getting all the Black people who've been living on their land after Field Order 15 kicked off their land 2 years later.
Right.
Georgia is the cradle of the of the Confederacy. It's the scene of the crime. And whenever I tell people that is still alive today, that these people know who they are and they are alive today, and they're doing it deliberately, I'm not joking about it. Right. So there's a malevolence behind this.
Absolutely.
And they know it. They know it.
So what is our next step that we go to next for what we do? That's what he's talking about.
For the weeping time concern.
We meet every Sunday 4:00. The news supposed to be over with us for a follow-up with Dr. Bailey at 10 o'clock tomorrow at Solomon Temple. That's 2005 Augusta Avenue. And then we need to come and put our people in the pot that we want to fulfill and finish this study. We need to finish strong, and we need to keep the funds going to be able to support that.
Can I make a recommendation? Of course, everyone in Savannah knows whatever support I can give in any way. I'm going to make a recommendation for the Weeping Times Committee or whatever group of people are leading this charge. I'm happy to be a soldier. I don't have to be at the helm or nothing. I'm going to make a recommendation. I will be the first to contribute. $150 will get you a press release on Black America PR Wire, and it'll send out put together a press kit about what's going on and send that sucker out on Black America the Black America web. There are 2 Black PR wire services that will send your press release to the 30,000 Black newspapers, radio stations, news talk show hosts, Roland Martin, and everybody, every radio station to talk about it. I'm going to recommend that.
You going to give $150 to do that?
I will give $150 to do that.
I'll match her.
And Queen, thank you, Queen. You know, if you guys put it together, I will donate that. You just need a press kit. I'm sure that Alderwoman Gibson Carter can help craft what it needs to say. Put it together and let's send out a press release on the Black PR web. It works. You're gonna get a lot of crazies, but it's gonna hit Tom Joyner, Roland Martin, TV1, BET. It goes to 30,000, big, small, medium, and everybody in between. Queen Quay, you might even get it once it goes out. It goes.
Well, come go get your TV.
Yeah, I'm pregnant like that. That's good. I never heard of that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I will match the sister. So what we can do is, if you do the first press release, we are going to need another one after this. So you take the 150 from her, roll it out first. The next one, we roll it out again. So I will match it. So somebody just needs to email me later and say where these funds go, other than to the Solomon Temple before the pastor feel is my tithes and offering. So we'll make sure this goes to the press release.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I will contribute it. I just don't have the professional capacity right now to write it. But I've done PR, and Julius knows my work in politics in Georgia. I'm happy to help, collaborate, proof, and I will give the money. But we gotta get a leading organization who sort of shows that we're organized, because what's going to happen is people are going to contribute money to this cause once this goes out, and y'all gotta have a means to receive it.
Well, let's create something that we'll put on so that we can get a challenge for everybody to donate to this fund. Alderwoman Keisha Gibson Carter is back, so she can answer your question as to whether she would craft it.
Not only that, I think we need to go through Gordon to make sure, he's the key figure in this now. And then he can put us with the right people, along with Keisha. I'm just saying, I think this is making progress as far as I'm concerned. I like what you said.
Yeah, they work together. They work together.
Okay, then we
all in this together.
But if that should be our next that should be the next midterm step, because here's the thing: if we can't get the two senators, because they're being bombarded, to be honest with you, Warnock, they are bombarded right now.
Right.
In order to get there, we got to go out and build micro levels of capacity and support. And that's the best way I know how to do it.
Warnock will be here in the morning. He's at the Georgia ports in the morning for a tour. And it's some kind of way that we should have been able to contact him, because he'll be right here tomorrow for a tour.
Right.
This is probably one of 10 stops he got. These senators, when they bring these senators on the tour, he gonna probably hit Fort Stewart, Hunter. He probably gonna start in Atlanta, come take a tour of the port, and be down in the Golden Isles at the spaceport, because Elon Musk is building that spaceport down there. So I know
if I got something to do with it,
we understand that, but I'm back what Julius was saying. Regardless of how many stops he got, we got to stop making excuses. Try to figure out a way to give him something this is impactful. Right. So don't sit up and rationalize.
Let's put it in the press release.
Stops he got to make. So,
let's put it. That's not a rationalization. Let's put it in the press release.
He got 1,000 stops to make.
Yeah, he said. I understand what the brother is saying, and I agree with him. Let's don't give them excuses, because just like when I am brought to a city, if I have 10 stops to make, but I hear from my people, there's an 11th and 12th place I need to go, whether the people driving me get upset or not, we are taking this side tour over here as well.
Yeah.
So he has that authority. He can do that. The point is not a press release for tomorrow. They said he will be there tomorrow for that port tour. So who knows someone within the Democratic Party and in his office, an assistant, and you need to get to his Savannah office right tonight or whatever, and try to go ahead and get him to make a trip over so that you can talk to him right then, not about the press release part, but physically while he's in his home city.
Even if we had people just marching with place cards saying, "War not whether you stand on the weeping time," we have to get his attention so that he can know that this is an issue that he needs to address.
Correct.
Yes. Now that I would say, yeah.
That's the only thing I was saying, because we right back at making excuses and this and this. I know her intent was not there.
Yeah,
but
right.
I'm saying that's what I was hearing.
Yeah, I was too.
Right.
I was too.
Right.
I was too. I'm with you.
So when I believe in just taking actionable steps. So my idea is the press release. Anything in between there, you know, it's ours. I'm with you. However I can help, whatever I'm gonna contribute to the press release. I'm not in Savannah, so I can't do nothing there right now. I'm in Atlanta right now. Gotcha. So the press release, I am happy to help. Like I said, I pledged the money for it, so we don't have, I want to remove the economic barrier to getting it done in his, even if it's a small measure. And thank you, Queen, for also contributing. And we listen, Black folks miss out because we're not organized and unified.
We trying to get organized now on this. That's why I say go to Pastor Gordon for a great deal. He seemed to be the person now, a moderator, saying this is what's taking place. Communication. Now, what you have to say, Pastor Gordon?
Yes, I'm gonna catch y'all on the other end because I've already contributed about $1,000 to the cause. Excellent. So I'm gonna have to catch y'all on the other end of that, but I'm gonna try to catch up. I'm not gonna leave my sisters out there alone. But yes,
we all right with you, Pastor.
Well, that's just I want to see this grow. I want to see Savannah. Julius, I've been in Savannah, in love with Savannah, fighting harder for Black folks in Savannah than Black folks from Savannah.
I know you was gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that, sister.
I mean, that's the only reason.
I think everybody feels that way when they go into a place.
I hear her, but a lot of times when you come from the outside, you have more interest than the people who live in it because they're so complacent and so accustomed. They can't see. They can't see the forest for the trees. I think that's what takes place.
You're right.
Everywhere. And I think that's what happened. Anytime you come to a new town, you be curious on what's going on.
Right.
And you be
new eyes.
Right.
You be more equipped to start asking a bunch of questions. Even wake up some of the people who live in the community. Who just sitting in it. Because when you're sitting in it, you can't see it a lot of times.
You can't,
And let me say this to follow up on what he's saying. And that's my feeling about what we're all here tonight to do. Because not living in Savannah, not growing up in Savannah, going to Savannah from the island, the going over yonder and thing like that, take the bridge and thing like that. Okay, for did it. So coming there, I see it differently than people who live in it, right?
Yeah.
So for me, coming to worship there with the pastor at his church, that was the first thing. I was like, oh, I like this. Oh, this is nice. I'm comfortable. I'm looking at the community and I'm saying, these my people? They got these houses? This, their stuff? Okay, good. So then where the store at? Where's this? Where's that? So my thing was, where's the money coming in to maintain these homes? That was my first thought. Where's the money coming in to maintain this historic church? That's my next thought. Then, okay, so now this is a historic place. Well, how come the money from downtown Savannah don't look like it's reaching over here? All these millions of dollars of tourism is over there. This community needs to have its own shuttle bringing people here to the weeping time.
Correct.
See all this economy. So my thing was, like you're saying, brother, when you live in it, Like you say, you can't see the forest for the trees. For those who love art, right? This is the analogy I give people about being home here in the Gullah Geechee Nation. When you are at home, right? You so close up on the thing. This is you. Now, who looks at a painting that way? That's you blind. You don't get up on no paint like that because you can't see the whole picture. It's only when you step back. It's only like the sister left, come back. You see even a bigger picture. You see a broader picture. But the person who's just here, they don't see what you see because the point is differently because they cannot. Exactly. Yeah. You're too close to it to see the value you have, the richness you have. Yeah. These other people see it and they try and extract it out of your community. We cannot allow that. We are black gold. We are richness. They wrote about it in their own journals. We got to live it. And that's what we doing tonight. This is some black gold shining tonight.
Dr. Bailey is so knowledgeable about the subject, and I was so proud to listen to what she had to say, because again, it educated me a little bit more about the Weeping Time location, about what's going on, not only in this region, in other region, in her study on it. Because I'll be honest with you, I was too busy trying to make the mighty dollar, doing other stuff, and this was on the back burner. I have no sense of concern until I saw what was happening on Montgomery Street. SCAD put up all those buildings and not paying no taxes on none of those buildings, and they going up where building used to have to pay taxes. You hadn't toured Savannah, ma'am, maybe, and seen some of the buildings right down the street from the Salvation Army. And I say, and again, I say, if they're serious about building the Salvation Army, they can go up 1, 2, 3 and have the same impact that they're putting over in that corner. The same impact. But somebody wants to buy that building. If you look to the south at the Neil Blunt, SCAD got that. No taxes on none of the building.
Charlie, you need to add some new information,
honey. They're taking places of the taxpayers. What we had tax revenue, they're taking it all up.
Charlie, yeah, we know. John McMaster did a whole study on how much it's something like $68 million that are not on the books. There's like 18,000 exempt nonprofit buildings in Atlanta. I mean, not Atlanta, in Savannah. In Savannah. But we know SCAD is one of the oligarchs.
No, I was just saying, build the Salvation Army right where it's at Montgomery and go up. That's what I'm saying.
Well, they could absolutely listen. They could put it off of President Street, closer to J.C. Lewis Healthcare. All that empty space down there. That's in Atlanta, all the shelters is right downtown near all the high rises.
It needs to be downtown on Montgomery Street where it's at, and they need to go up and put it right there. So don't hand me that bull. Don't blow smoke in my eye and tell me it's cloud.
What are you talking about? You just be ranting and raving for nothing. Are you getting senile, Charlie?
What are you talking about? I'm saying
they playing games.
Don't treat me one way.
We know they playing games.
Don't treat me.
Oh, look at this.
Me one way. I'm saying don't treat me.
Charlie, she messing with you, man. Don't let her mess with you like that.
He know this is the Rabble.
No, I'm the Rabble. But the Rabble should give me the same.
All right, we got.
I'm about to depart for the evening. So it has been a exhilarating evening, I'll say. With y'all, I know how y'all do in the city. Y'all want to fight, so I was ready for the fight. And whatnot, and I just hope we're gonna take the same power and energy to where it needs to be. That we direct this fight together and we win this fight. We go ahead and get on this team with the pastor, and we go ahead and get this gold ring at the end. Go ahead, Pastor.
And could we leave with a prayer? And if you don't believe in prayer, just have a moment of silence. Whatever you do.
What are we gonna do? I'm for prayer, but Which one we gonna do? You gonna lead the prayer? Or I'm gonna lead the prayer.
I'll do that.
Please.
Would allow me to.
Please.
Mr. Junior, and I just want to say that all donations right now until Reverend Smalls and I, we are going to get together with a Weeping Time account, but we have a lot of white friends that have helped us, and it goes to Hello Neighbor. And you can put in the where it goes Weeping Time in the info slot, but right now all funds are going to Hello Neighbor because I didn't want anything to come in Solomon Temple Treasure.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to be, I want to be transparent.
No commingling of funds, right?
Exactly. So it goes to Hello Neighbor, and in the info slip line, put Weeping Time Project.
Is there a website for that, Pastor, to go directly to Hello Neighbor? Because me and others who are listening tonight could go online and do that.
Yes, you could go Hello Neighbor online.
Is it .com? Is it just helloneighbor.com or .org?
helloneighbor.com.
Okay.
And I'll talk to Sister Lisa in a minute, but she has a GoFundMe page.
That's what I
Hello Neighbor for this particular.
Excellent for this. Okay.
Yes. All right. So are you ready, Brother Jewish, to end, or after the prayer you gonna have your
we don't end till 9 o'clock. You are happy to end this segment, and we'll take the two of you out, and then I'll let these two fight.
I want no,
so
you ain't
go
gonna
ahead
let
and
me
give
fight.
the prayer.
I just want to say one thing.
He is back off of mute.
Queen, I want to just say this to you. 912. You got a pen?
I'm writing, but I don't call nobody. But I don't call nobody, so you can give the number all you want. Everybody who know me knows.
Oh no, I wanted. I simply wanted to. I want. Then how about a website? I can go. I mean, you got an email address?
Sure. What you could do, my brother, go to queenquet.com. Email me from there. So QUENQUET.com. Email me directly from there.
Okay.
Okay.
Got you.
Excellent.
I appreciate you 100%. I'm looking forward to you coming back to Savannah, and I want to meet you.
Because you look like you want to roll on the Queen, man. I don't know if I should come to Savannah. You look like you want to roll on the Queen. I'm gonna have to roll through with all my girls here tonight.
No, ma'am. Ma'am, trust me, I'm not like that.
I'm just playing with you. No,
I'm not like that.
I got love for you, man.
I got love for you too, and I appreciate getting the opportunity to meet you.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
It has been such an honor to meet you, Queen Quet. Thank you so much for all you do. You are a representation of nation building, of a nation, but one, I wish that we could have more sovereign nations in the U.S. It is done absolutely right. We honor you. You are the closest thing we have to Black excellence in this area, and you inspire me. You inspire all of us. So thank you so much for sharing this space. I'm honored to share this.
We all need to be a part of the Geechee Gullah Nation. We all need to be
I didn't correct you before, Julia.
Yeah.
Go get a switch right now, Julia.
My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You
say it
again.
Gullah Geechee Nation. But let me say,
how do we do that?
Once again, one of the things, I am from the Malcolm X school, that if we got issues, we don't get out here in public and air the dirty laundry. We get behind closed doors and we talk about those things. So
yes, ma'am.
All y'all got to do, email me. All right. And then let's all get together, let face to face without the whole world who watching right now tonight, because our friends and tonight, and then we will be able to discuss how this family stays together, because we're ready together. It's just how this family stays together, how we're going to heal together, how we're going to win together. So y'all email me day, night, anytime. And I just want to say, my sister, because he's not on the line now, but I just want to point this out to the audience when you said about Black excellence. Right before the pandemic, Dr. Amir Jamal Touré and I were honored by the Martin Luther King Committee of Bluffton. We were honored on Hilton Head with the Black Excellence Awards. Him for social justice and me for what they call Gullah Geechee gatekeeping, which I thought was an interesting term. And so it was a power-filled night to be honored by your own people and have your own people at home say that you're excellent and that they support what you've done and they want to continue to support you into the future. So when you said it today, it seemed like I was getting that award all over again. And I know the pastor, know the scripture, because a prophet has no honor save in his or her own land. So it is always an honor to me, even more so than the awards, when I hear my own people say what you said. So I wanted to say that. I wanted to thank Brother Julius again for the invitation tonight. I want to thank Dr. Ray for going ahead and bringing the invitation over as he did. And so I see this thing because today I normally take just to reflect and to honor someone who led me spiritually as a child was Harriet Tubman. I've won numerous awards with her face on it, with her name on it, as Woman of Distinction. I was there when they posthumously installed her, and it was right before I was getting installed as a Queen Mother. So there's a link. I went to the Cumbie before libation today, and we did the moment of silence. So that's why I want the pastor to do the prayer, because that prayer should be a blessing for all our souls, for the unity that we all say that we want, that we all are going to live out together from this moment. And we all are excellent. We all are Black gold. And that's the standard we have to uphold. You will have what you say. And so we speak Black excellence into this. We speak unity into this. We speak it all into existence right now. Now, Pastor left us. Did the pastor go? So in the church, we would say the devil is busy. Did the pastor just drop off?
I think he must have, there was some feedback. I think he froze.
And
yeah.
Okay, let's see if he comes back. Because I would truly, did he come back? Did he make it?
No, he didn't, but we have.
They're still
but
on.
thank you for that, Queen. We know that you have many things to tend to, and you're leaving us. Thank you for blessing us with that closing word. I feel like that was a wonderful substitution for the prayer, and I accept it. And Ashe, sending you much love, much light, much protection. Definitely will reach out any way I can support. Become. You listen, I don't have to stay in these ununited states of America.
That's right. I know that's right. I appreciate that. But
Pastor Smalls finally joined us.
Okay.
Thank you, Pastor.
I drove
Thank you, Queen.
Peace and blessings, y'all. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
I'm going to get space for the pulpit so that the pastor can come on in. God bless you. Look at Pastor Small. I was up in my house shouting. at 11 o'clock that night when you spoke about the weeping time. And I said, preach. I said, preach, Pastor Small. So yes, God bless you. I'm so glad to see you before I exit. I'm so happy you came in.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm always honored to be in your presence.
Yes. Y'all have a blessed night.
Amen.
You too.
You as well.
Talk with you later.
Okay. Well, what happened? I had to put it on in Statesboro, and then I didn't realize, but somebody took our webcam out of the studio in Statesboro. Why? I don't know. You have to talk to me about my people so I can be forgiven. But in any case, everything is going kind of on the proper clock as far as this is concerned, in terms of what we're doing, the effectiveness of it, and the fact that people are becoming more and more aware of it. The idea of exposing it to the Black media platforms was extremely important. This show is probably as effective as any meeting that I've been in a long time, in all honesty. So I was listening to it, and it just dawned on me, things were coming on this show in terms of next and need to do, what information is missing, what we can do differently and better. So the Rabble has actually done its job tonight.
Appreciate you.
And I've got, right now I'm prepared to invest as much as it's going to take to do this, and Julius and Charlie, y'all know, and Charlie been knowing me 100 years, and y'all know if I say I will put money in it, I don't bluff.
That's a fact, Jack.
No, I don't bluff, and I ain't talking change either.
No,
you know, and
here's the truth.
Yeah, and what we need to do is we need to become more conscious of doing things like Julius has done with ATR, investing the time and the money into building things that will outlast us. That will outlast us.
We have to make it bigger than us.
Well, and it's bigger than me because those two right there are a big part of ATR. Also, they helped me build, and so do you, Pastor. It's a team effort with all of us.
Mm-hmm. Well, the last thing I would like to, I'm going to be at that press conference in the morning, and I want this audience to realize something, because a lot of times people be coming to me saying things, and this platform might cut down a lot of foolishness. The leader of this effort is Superintendent Pastor Larry Gordon.
Got you.
Okay, just flat foot. There is no other leader. There is no other key man, chief, or nothing like that. It's Pastor Super. You know, because every time I get involved with something, you know how they do us, Julius and Charlie. They keep telling you, "Oh, you know, it's Rem Small doing this, Rem Small that." No, I joined this man. Somebody came to me, even had a meeting with me, and said, "Well, you know what we're going to do? We need to make you the leader of this, because he doesn't speak as succinctly as you do." So I said, "What kind of man do you think I am?"
Right.
Come on, the man going to invite me to his party, and I'm going to take home all the presents?
Nah.
What kind of that make me a punk? That's how I feel about that. That don't make me no man.
I feel you.
So what we need,
we gotta stop that kind of stuff. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Reverend Swan.
No, you're right on point. That kind of foolishness is what's gotten us messed
nowhere.
Up. What we're doing is we keep trying to get credit instead of getting stuff done. And
imagine what we could accomplish if nobody cared who got credit for it.
And what's credit? Credit is income, and we need to be worrying about the outcome, not the income.
So I think this I'm going to play this back again and make notes from it. For one thing, the other thing is I'm going to get with. We've already got a 501c3 umbrella for it. Okay, so I'm getting with, to answer some of your questions, I'm getting with Pastor Gordon, and we're going to put this whole effort under that umbrella. Okay, and then from that we'll be able to lobby, and I'm having some meetings, and I'm not going to name the groups, but we're now having some meetings with some established groups in Savannah who have been kind of in the corners and scared to come out because they just scared. I don't know, but some of them have called me, and I guess me keep telling them they're scary and they're sorry, and because that's what I do, and a few of them have called me, and so I'm now taking meetings with them to see if we can get groups, and I'm not going to name even one of them now because a few of them have said they want to try. So let me see if I can get them involved. At first, we'll have a meeting that didn't happen if we can't come to terms. But if we come to terms, then they'll bring their franchise to the fight. We do need that the organization. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You were talking about, weren't you talking about this platform, this black platform thing with these media people?
For $150.
Oh yeah, it's $150 to do the press release. There are 2 black PR wire services, and so a wire service is, you know what a wire service is? There's 2 of them. There's a black PR web, and I can't remember Black PR web and Black America web PR. There's two of them. You can Google it, and they both come up, and they're both as effective. I have used it a couple of times. Dr. Shabazz used it for an event that she organized, and we just got, thousands. That you're gonna get the crazies responding, but if it is a worthwhile notice of something like this, you ever wonder how Tom Joyner and Roland Martin and all of them get these random stories in different small towns and how it makes national news?
Right.
Everybody will get it. Sean King's organization might get it, but it has to be, a well-written press kit, very succinct. Of course, somebody's got to start it, craft it. Yeah. And I'm happy to help. Yes, you and I, Leonard Small, we have been the advisor on PR for some of the same people. Yes. So you do. You are very well written. So yes, there it is. The Black PR Wire and Black PR with Glenada Davis. Yep, that's it. Black. She put it up.
Glenada
put it up. Yeah. There's two of them. Both of them are just as effective. Like Queen Quet said, we're going to have to send out two to make sure it gets traction. But it's $150. It goes to over 30,000. Every little black.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Suppose the $150 was $1,500.
Well, we can. I mean, if $150 and $1,500, I think it only costs once. You only have to send it once. I think we should send it out a couple of times. I say put the $1,500 in the coffers to do exactly what you said, Pastor Smalls.
When you just do both of them, you said it's two different ones. Do one of each. Do both of them, and that would do $300.
Yeah, I would do it through both. Yeah. I would do both. You can do one and it's effective, but
I suggest you do both if they're both the same cost, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Leonard, I want to thank you for clearing it up, because it's a distraction when they come to you trying to play that, and that will keep us divided by saying Larry Gordon is the person who in charge, so we don't have it going there
and we need to rally.
That little bit is very powerful. That send a message, speak volume.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now
we gotta rally behind each other. We gotta rally behind him.
Now I know who to send people to, and I know who to go to, and let him delegate here, there, and that keep it structurally straight. Right. And we won't be all over the place.
Julius.
Yes, sir.
There it is. Glenada found both of them. BlackPR.com and Black PR Wire. She found them both. I remember I told you there was two. She done posted them both. Black PR and Black PR Wire.
Okay, you said give Air your number?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and let's make it happen. Let's rally. I've said this a long time. Until we develop an unconditional respect and love and value one another as Black people, we're going to continue to have stupid little petty things like a $20 bill or how someone's diction is to another. We basing all this on white supremacist European standards, keeping ourselves maligned and marginalized. I mean, we are. Listen.
You good at what you do, man.
Charlie, that's the blackest light-skinned woman I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
My poop. I love her, Lord. No,
you know why I like it, and I'm people like, oh, you mixed? No, I got a black mama and a black daddy. Ain't nobody, but they mix down the line. But we do.
My father.
Your father was what, Leonard?
My father was light skinned. My father was a light skinned man. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, my grandma ain't had but 3 light-skinned kids, and all of them had 1 light-skinned kid. My grandparents, everybody else in my family is Pastor Smalls is your complexion, and from Julius to Charlie to your complexion, and it ain't but 5 of us is light, and we got picked on heavily. They tell me don't know white folks live in this neighborhood, and things like that. They said I was adopted. The stork dropped me off.
Yeah. Pastor Smalls,
Yes,
on another note, I have people in the box and I have people texting me off the chain wondering about tomorrow. I'm hope they wanted me to see whether we could put together a call to action. And what it is we know that Pastor Warnock, Senator Warnock will be at the porch tomorrow. And what we want to do is bring it to his attention in case he says that he never saw it and his aides got it and it never got to him. And we need our senators, our U.S. senators, to act with us or at least give us their stance on it. And we need, just like we challenge every other elected official in this city and in this county to take a stand on it, and every pastor and every citizen. If you're going to celebrate Juneteenth, then you need to understand the significance of the weeping time. So we need to see, I guess they're asking me, how do we have a call of action for tomorrow?
I don't know. There was a group of young people who went and did an action at the mayor's house the other night. And I believe that KJ has gotten out, hopefully.
Yes, she's out.
Yes, she did.
And I've got signs. I do have signs. And so we're willing to give those signs for people to stand and wave them to, at a minimum, have him see the sign. And the sign is the weeping time. The first 3 words, the weeping time property. So,
yeah. I don't know what time it is tomorrow, Pastor. We would have to investigate to see what time he comes to the port, so that you can.
I've got to be with Pastor Gordon at 10 at Solomon Temple. Right.
So last time it was 11 o'clock. So I don't know whether the tour is at 11 o'clock. I just went to one early last week, Wednesday or Thursday last week. I went to the ports to a tour with some African representatives. So we need to see whether what time that is tomorrow. Because if y'all finish by 11, we might can come out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. We'll see by in the morning. We'll see her.
When is the next time? Pastor Gordon, I got in the show. I was on the wrong network or something, a little late. But Pastor Gordon was saying there was going to be some meetings. When is the next meeting? Will you be there?
4 o'clock on Sunday at Solomon Temple. And yes,
on Augusta Avenue.
Yes, sir.
Right.
And yes, I'll be there.
4 o'clock.
Yes, sir. And
I'm gonna try to make it. I don't have the legs I used to have.
And you
don't have the hair you used to have.
Okay. See, you
don't make them say that all night long thing, please.
Okay. So Lord Jesus.
That's because Pastor Smalls and Julius got a full head of beautiful salt and pepper hair. They know they both want to laugh. You didn't get them good black jeans, did you now?
So we're gonna meet at 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. I'm trying to we have a retired landscape architect who's willing to volunteer her time to help us, but she doesn't have a seal because she's retired at this point. But we're going to ultimately hire probably a local landscape architect simply to redraw the lines again. We know the lines actually go to Augusta Road, and there's no way for this shouldn't be an issue. We know it's the Weeping Time property because it's a plat. It's a plat, and the plat stretches from Louisville Road all the way to Augusta. Well, it was called Augusta Road. We call it Augusta Avenue now. And it's written on the plat from 1807.
You're right.
I have a suggestion for you, Pastor Smalls.
Yes, ma'am.
Pastor Small.
Yes, ma'am.
Go and see if the Urban Land Institute can be of service. It's called, so you can Google it. It's the Urban Land Institute. It's uli.org. They are
once you do the research and let us know something.
I'm admitting
you delegate, but you're not in charge.
Listen, I'm not trying to delegate. I'm giving a resource.
You always delegate.
Leave alone.
I'm just trying to share my knowledge. The Urban Land Institute is a group of interdisciplinary urban planners, landscape architects that will come in on a volunteer basis and work on projects. Wow. They mostly come to cities. Rob Hernandez, when we were working on the fairgrounds with Dr. Shabazz, when he was here, he had suggested bringing in the Urban Land Institute to do the study for that property because the city was talking all kind of jazz. So, he had wonderful plans in place and was very supportive of Dr. Shabazz, but of course we see what happened to him. They buried him with one bad PR story and the fire fee. They buried him with the fire fee and raised all the taxes triple what he was suggesting 2 years later after they made him out to be the bad guy. So, and he got out of here. But the Urban Land Institute can usually come in and do things like this for free or super cheap, and it convenes people from outside the area. And I know that there is a Urban Land Institute office in Atlanta. I would reach out to them and see if you can, it might be cheaper to get someone out of that network, because these are the licensed, the bonded, the sealed, real professionals currently in practice who volunteer their time for land surveys and things like that. So try them. I'm not sure if it'll pan out, but I just want you to know about them.
Thank you, dear. Appreciate it.
All right. Charlie, you had something else?
Nothing.
Yeah, stop fussing at my help.
Not a thing. But I would like to make this comment. Whatever she chooses to say, she is 100% correct, and I have no right even ever debating her because she is the golden child. She is close to them. She is close to them, and so she act like them.
So wait a minute. Let me see if I got. So she got sense because she white.
That's correct.
No.
That's correct.
Okay, well,
you trying to make a black. She ain't definitely got the black genes.
I'm actually Senegalese.
You are whatever you may be.
I'm Senegalese.
They want to know where we can meet to see Alt Warnock tomorrow. Where can they meet to be seen by Senator Warnock? 2 East Main Street, 2 Main Street in Garden City. That's the port's main building. He'll be taking a tour there tomorrow. I don't know what time. It's either going to be 10 or 11. So we just have to find out.
Number 2 Main Street in Garden City.
Yeah.
Number 2. Can I tell a funny story about somebody who wasn't sure about me until they saw my talk at the.
I don't want to hear that. Leonard Small.
So let me tell you my story. Jamal wasn't sure about me till he saw me speak at the Kwanzaa celebration, and the Shabazzes made sure they had me come speak.
Don't put me on mute again.
Yeah, because I'm telling my story, Charlie. So part of my talk was cooperative economics. And I got on there, and here's what I said. This is when they stopped, Ed and them stopped liking me in Savannah. I said, listen, if I see y'all do a ribbon cutting ceremony on one more sidewalk, I said, they putting economic development and building up all these businesses on the white side of town, and the black folks over here happy that they paved the sidewalk on the black side of town. I said, paving the ground is the minimum a city's supposed to do anyway. But they got the man with the big scissors is a millionaire off of cutting all the ribbons on the floor.
Amen.
I said, look at what, and everybody sat there and looked, and they were like, "Oh, she's right." I mean, we paved Can Park. We put a sign up in Tatumville. So you put a sign on it, and you pave the ground, and they got y'all with the stool and keynote speakers talk about this patch of land finally got a walking trail.
They did the same thing in Woodsville. They put a plaque up to say that this is Woodsville, and they had a big when Van Johnson was there, big
ceremony.
Ceremony to put up a damn sign.
I said,
and Tyrone Ware acts like Woodville is Havisham Woods.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't know what's wrong with Tyrone Ware. He thinks Woodville is Havisham Woods.
No,
he got a damn mind.
No, he thinks that Woodville belonged to him.
Yeah.
That's his problem. He thinks instead of him representing the people, he thinks that Woodville belongs to him solely. And he has lost his mind.
He has.
But these people have been pushed out front as being leaders of a community so as to put forth a white agenda and to press down. All they needed to do was get some, but trust me, if Eddie DeLoach was still the mayor, and this is a sad thing to say because I don't like politically Eddie DeLoach. If he was still the mayor, the Weeping Time question would not be a question.
That's correct. I believe so also.
Having black skin has given them cover for their racist actions against the black community.
That's correct.
I've come to that point now where, like Keisha said, call them by their names. Linda, Dietrich, Van Johnson, along with Purdy and Palumbo, are the reasons we're going through all these changes. I don't let the white boys off the hook either, because they should have a consciousness about our history also. But definitely, moreover, intrinsically, innately, by nature, Van and Linda and Dietrich should not have us making this fight at this time concerning this place. Who does that? Who does that? And why are they doing it? I'll answer that question. Because they're trying to figure out, white folks ain't even got to talk to them. Because all day long, they're trying to figure out what's going to make them smile. What's going to make white folk happy with them. Because they've decided which side the bread is buttered on, and it ain't the black side. But don't worry, we got 30 months, and they're out of there. See you later, bye.
You know what's so sad? You know what's going to be sad about them? They're going to chew them up and spit them out and leave them off worse than they left for Tony Thomas.
Yes, sir.
They're going to leave them. They're going to leave them high and dry like they left Edna. They're going to leave them high and dry like they done left Mary Osborne. They're going to be shells of themselves. And that's the sad part. Then they're going to come looking at the community and they're going to be used up like whores. And they're going to spit. Soon as they're not useful to those people, they're going to spit them out. They don't
pay them any attention now.
Yeah.
They don't pay them any attention. And Van marches them out to try to get stamp us down. Every time we got a good run going at us at an issue, he'll bring Otis out or he'll bring Edna out. And then
resurrecting all them zombies.
And women, he'll name them as going on a committee. They name. I didn't even think, John. I didn't even think about Carol Bell.
We done forgot about. But see, Carol Bell was already independently wealthy. The sad part is her time. I mean, I don't know. Carol Bell and her family already, had made a way for themselves. She wanted acceptance. I'm guessing that she's still invited to the private parties, but
right.
I'm guessing that the sad part is white folks leave office and they make something of themselves after their political time. Black folks leave office, and Roy Jackson said this years ago. He said, when we leave office, we know better off than when we started. In many cases, worse.
Well, I think what Van has created is ad hoc campaign committees through all these task forces that he started. These are ad hoc campaign committees for him. He put people on it who he think are key in the community, and he take them and make them feel good by putting them on committees. It's an old campaign trick,
But the
and
committee,
he uses it very well.
the committee don't do anything.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
They just like, listen, think about Black folks. We fall prey to pageantry.
That's true.
We love the pageantry. Look at how ineffective the NAACP is now. They ain't known for nothing but the image awards.
Well, don't talk.
They don't do nothing. They have one big old gala.
Yeah, don't talk about it. I'm trying to work on that. Don't talk about it right now.
Yeah, Chad said, call him. He'll address every issue because the
Well, no, I'm talking about the national. I'm talking about at the national level. At the national level, they got the National NAACP Image Awards, and that's the biggest thing they do.
The strange thing is, where are they in this fight? All these fights that's going on, fair fight, fair, where Black vote matter. Where is
they're gonna give Stacey Abrams an Image Award.
Okay.
Validate her with a statue and a pretty dress. Listen, this is what they do. Think about it. Pastor Smalls, you ever been to Savannah Chatham Day at the Capitol? You ever watch how...
I went one time, and the mayor got mad because everybody from the state that walked in, the governor walked in, oh, Reverend Smalls here. And then the Secretary of State came in, hey, somebody told me Reverend Smalls was here. And the mayor started looking at me kind of strange. And I ain't never been back no more of them. Because I know everybody up there, even when the white folks are in charge, everybody gonna know me because I'm effective. I do stuff. So people say, well, he's always on TV. Y'all don't even know what I do. You ain't got a clue.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I noticed when I was there, and this was under Edna's administration, I got there to the rail, they do the big food feast at the rail station, at the train station across the street from the Capitol. And I saw all the white people in the middle of the room, networking, talking, making deals, meeting people, shaking hands, building power. And at the back of the room, all the Black elected leaders had on bibs. They eating crab legs and food from barns that everybody live with every day. You can eat. And they just chomping, eating. And I said, look at them. All they got to do is throw some food out there. And the Black folks completely forget what here. They just back there eating. I said, and I was watching. The only Black person in that room stayed away from the Black chow area was Al Scott. And I said, how you doing, Chairman Scott? He likes to be called Chairman. He said, I'm doing good, Miss Scotty. I said, oh, you don't want your apron? He looked at me. I ain't put no apron on. I said, you Black folks walking around, all the Bobby Lockett county commissioners walking around looking like the help with a chicken bone in their mouth and grease around their lips. And all the white folks like, look at them, look at them.
We're past our time.
Oh, right. Sorry.
We're about to get off of this air. Pastor Smalls, we appreciate you and everything you do. I'm going to give Alicia your number so Alicia don't go nowhere. Let's get together soon. We should be having a meeting real soon that we'll be talking about. Anyway, thank y'all for coming on. And I know Crystal Ben left. So we'll get with you all on the other side.
Y'all be blessed. I'm out.
All right.